Blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning here from the College of Western Idaho. Do want to thank everybody for joining us. It is Thank You Thursday. Keep it here for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Boise Music Festival. Oh, yes, back at Expo Idaho, year number 9. That's June 23rd. It's like a couple months away, right? Why not go for free, courtesy of Kevin Miller in the morning and KIDO Talk Radio. Caller 8, when you hear me give you the cue to call, at 580-5436. 580-KIDO, you're going to win a family or friendly 4-pack. And by the way, all guests today of the Kevin Miller Show will receive a complimentary family 4-pack courtesy of the Boise Music Festival. Mark Browning joining us now, Vice President of Communications and Government Relations here at the College of Western Idaho. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Kevin. Welcome to campus.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, nice to have you back.
There we go. I always feel like home here. I'm welcoming you to your own building. But
you know what? It's always nice to be welcomed home because sometimes when you leave, you're not sure.
Yeah, that's been the story of my professional career and for many, many years.
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
Yeah, let's talk about the mission of College of Western Idaho, because whether or not you're, a kid out of high school or a kid at heart like us, there's a place for everyone.
We are nearly cradle to grave. So we have students all
now,
the way.
Those of us that are near the grave, that's a
little
yeah,
sensitive. Those of us with a little more gray in
yes,
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Our student ages range all the way from early high school through dual credit students and even homeschool students who can come and take classes, all the way through those of us with a little more experience in our life track. So there is, as you say, a place for everyone. And whether you're degree seeking, non-degree seeking, Christy Rood was here talking about credit and non-credit programs, there is something for everyone. That's the beauty of the American Community College. Do you know the community college is a true American invention? I mean, we invented community colleges here in this country. Why? Because we needed something for everyone.
No, I'm a big fan of community colleges because you get the real-life return on investment. And not to, look at other institutions, but you can spend a lot of money, or you can be very, very frugal and get the ROI and come here and get the same classes. And,
or better. Let me just stop you there.
No wonder you're the Vice President of Communications and Government Relations.
Well,
I can't get a word edgewise on my own show, but you're the guest, so go ahead.
Well,
yes.
I say better,
right?
Because let me put this to you: if you are a consumer looking at a product,
right,
and you say this is the product I want, and there are a couple of different places you can go and get this.
Sure.
In this case, you can check off all the boxes and the additional options that you want on this product for less money. And why I say is, at a community college in Idaho, your instructor has to have a master's degree in that discipline.
Right.
Now, when many of us went to quote-unquote college or university, in our 100 and 200 level courses, we wandered into a large lecture hall.
Well, you know who did that? George Bush. George Bush made that a requirement.
Yeah. To have...
Right, you have to have a master's.
You have to have the master's. But at a university, you often go into these 100 or even 200 level lecture courses with 150, 200 other students, and who's leading the discussion? It's not the professor of record whose name is on the course. It's a graduate assistant or a teaching assistant. Up there, they're doing the flight plan, Captain PowerPoint, here's right. This point, this point, this point. You got any questions? There's office hours between here and there. At a community college and at CWI, your class size is much smaller, and there's someone who has an actual graduate degree instructing the course. There's no graduate assistants here. There's no teaching assistants that way leading the class. The actual teacher of record is doing it. You have a much better interaction. So if your product is knowledge and information, and you as the consumer are here to take advantage of that, why not go direct to the source? Why not buy from the factory?
All right.
Actually, write that down. I like that. Buy from the factory.
Mark
we
Browning,
might have something
I haven't
here.
heard that from Ford in quite a long time, Mark Browning. We'll bring our friend Todd Christensen in, your old friend from Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, my gosh.
It'll be Old Home Day. Again, don't be taking over. We already have that with Rob and Aaron at Team Mazda Subaru. So, Mark, you need to behave.
But I think we know that's not going to happen.
Yes. How do you think that's going to happen?
I'm with you.
Give the mic to Mark and Todd.
I'm just hoping that the mics work here.
There's two of us. We're neighbors. How come you couldn't come to the neighborhood this morning?
Because I live in Star, Idaho. So there we have it. So now, you Meridian folks. However, I do want one more question with you, Mark, here before we start the Love Fest with you and Todd at KIDO Talk Radio. Please speak to people that might think that education is intimidating. You know,
It is.
people like us, though, that think, I just don't have what it takes. I've been in the workforce. I'd really like to learn maybe a lifelong skill, maybe a computer skill, but I don't think I'm up to the task.
I would say for those reasons exactly is why you are up to the task. If you've been in the workforce, if you've punched the clock, if you've gone to a job and you know that there's something more for you, what education can do is open that door for you. It is not going to solve everything in your life, but it will open doors for you, and you can do it because you've done other things. This is what we're here to help people realize is we're not the magic, you're the magic. We just help you see. We put the mirror back to you and say, you can do this. We're here to help, but you're the one that's going to make this happen. And you do it by one-to-one, hand-to-hand contact with that instructor, with support staff. You know, we do this room over here is what we call our one-stop.
Well, that really doesn't help us on the radio, but yeah.
Your right, my left. Just picture this beautiful room.
Just work with me, Kevin, is what you're saying. Just work with me. Quit being so difficult,
Paint
Kevin. Yes.
a mental picture,
yes,
Kevin.
Yes,
that's the magic of radio.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know that. Thank you, Bob.
I'm here to help.
Yes, you're warming up really well for Todd. Thank you. Yes.
Walk everybody through.
Yes,
It's the personal touch that's there, and that's what you get. Even in an institution like ours, where we have 30,000 people that we're very humbled and proud to serve with, it is that one-to-one, and that's why the community college thing works.
I love the community college. It's one of the great liberators in America, just like education. I mean, really, the ability to afford to get
It
to
opens
school.
doors.
Yeah, it does.
It just opens the door for you. I can tell you that I was a late comer to it. I was one of those kids who said, you know what, I've had enough school. I don't need it. I'm going to go out and learn my own way. And at age 39, almost 40, 3 kids, married, mortgage, full-time job, I went, there's something more, and the only way through it is through that door. And the key to that door, that lock, is education.
Indeed. And what we're going to do right now, are you going to be around all morning?
Hey, I'll go wherever you go. Even to Star, Idaho, I can go there.
Never mind. We're going to have you back, Mark, because I do want to get some more information. You're welcome to sit here as we grill Tom.
My neighbor here.
Yes,
he's my neighbor.
Yeah. And that's really relatable to the thousands of other people that are not in your neighborhood.
Well, we'd love to be your neighbor too.
Of a community and the fact that this is a community college.
Right.
You.
However, if we don't live in your neighborhood or not part of your community, it's kind of
aren't we all neighbors though in a global sense that we're all
village.
living on the same planet?
Yes, it takes a village. Yes.
Now it's us against you.
Yes, the story of my life. Thank you both. Why don't we do this? The cue to call. Let's give the cue to call. Caller 8, I believe, is either caller 8 at 580-5436. 580-KIDO. We're going to give away those tickets now, Family 4-pack to the Boise Music Festival. And we'll talk to our friend Todd Christensen here. Your thoughts on the mission from not only your perspective, but CapEd Credit Union's perspective here at CWI.
As Mark has mentioned, that there's over 30,000 students here. They're coming here for the opportunity to improve themselves and to improve the opportunity that they have in our community and their own personal lives as well as within their homes and their families. And that's an element that's important to CapEd, is the opportunity to be able to continually improve, whether it's through your financial life or your personal life or in aspects as it relates to your career.
Indeed, of course. Before we get to some of these other things, I know we've got you for a brief time today. You guys are hitting the credit cards hard because, that's important. I mean, you get a really good deal right now on credit cards. Mm-hmm. Now might be the time to look at a CapEd credit card.
Well, we understand that rate drives a lot of decisions, and we have an introductory credit card that's 4.9. It's available for 12 months on balances transferred or purchases. But then also the cool thing is that fixes to a variable rate, but right now our lowest rate is 7.59, and that is 2 to 3 times lower than what you're going to see from national or even some of the other local financial institutions.
No, someone who shops rate, that's the lowest that I have seen. Not that I know anything about fluctuating rates or anything.
Fluctuating rates, we can talk about yesterday's activities and the Fed and those type of items. But for CapEd, for us, it's about being able to help that person have financial well-being.
Sure. And
we understand that individuals need to draw on credit. There are emergencies. But we're wanting to provide a vehicle and a credit card that's good for them.
Hey, what was that rate again? I'm sorry, this is an ADD world. It was 7 what?
7.59 is our lowest rate for those who will qualify within their credit limits, those type of items. But that's a fixed rate. Obviously, there's some variability to that, but 7.59. Compare that to some of the other cards that are 23, 20%. And that's for us as CapEd is something that we're wanting to make sure that individuals understand that a local financial institution is here and has your back.
Indeed. So let's talk about one of our favorite programs. It's going to be summertime before you know it. Camp Cash Ed. Really focusing on helping kids appreciate the value of managing your money at a young age.
One of the elements that we identify with many of our members and our customers is they don't have a basis of financial understanding, and it's truly unfortunate. And so an element of our mission statement is financial literacy, and this Camp Cash Ed that you reference is an opportunity for youth ages between 11 and 14. We have several different camps that come out during the summer for 3 days, and it's 3 days built around entrepreneurship. It's built around financial management, how does money work, and how can they participate in that at a very young age.
All right, matched education savings accounts. What's that about?
Matched education savings account. MESA, we have a partnership here with CWI as well as with the Northwest Credit Union Foundation, and this is for individuals who have an income qualifier. But for every dollar that they save, we, through the foundation, will match $3. So if they save $500, they can receive up to $1,500 towards their education here at CWI.
Todd Christensen, anything else?
Pleasure to be here and glad to be able to get information out there about our credit card, Camp Cash Ed. Wonderful partnership with CWI about being able to help encourage individuals to save and then give them a 3-to-1 match.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Great to be with you.
All right. Mark Browning, any other thoughts here?
Just very quickly on the Mesa.
Hold on very quickly.
Think about that. $500 you save, you match that through the Mesa. That's your tuition and books for an entire semester. You can go to school for $500.
Really?
Think about that.
Yeah.
At $139 a credit, which has stayed the same for 4 years, and we're in the final stages of administration putting the budget together, we're not recommending a tuition increase again this year. So 5 years in a row.
How do you do that though? Because we
save $500.
No, the tuition going up all the time. How do you maintain that?
I give the credit to President Glandon and our trustees, and then
is he ever going to show up anymore? I mean, like the first one, like 85 years ago, he was here. He's such a charismatic guy. I hate to put you on the spot here.
You know what? I love
Mark.
That guy. I love that
you've
guy.
Had Mark, all the time.
But it's a poor man's substitute. President Glandon's the real deal, and I say that in all seriousness. People believe in him.
Yeah.
I believe in him. Our students believe in him,
Yeah.
and our operation believes in him, and that's how we keep those costs
Thank
down.
you for spinning that, but our listeners would like to believe in him.
We'll get him here.
All right.
We will get him here.
Because we ask the tough questions.
So, you know where
Oh, wait a minute.
where
Here we go again.
He went.
I never should have.
You opened the door.
Yes.
He went with a group of our students, our Phi Theta Kappa students, which is the honor society, honor roll type students for community colleges. We have what they call
where do you go? Hold on. Yeah, where do you
Kansas
go?
City Silver Star chapter.
Yes.
It's very tough to get. Only the top 10% in the entire country out of 1,200 community colleges, less than 10% reach that status. We've done it 5 years in a row. President Glandon went with the students. So as much as we love having him here, he is about the students, and he went with them.
He needs to be about the listeners.
We'll let him know that the students are the listener. How's that work?
You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. All right, congratulations, Bob in Boise, winning our family 4-pack. Hey. Of the Boise Music Festival tickets. Remember, they're sponsoring Thank You Thursdays, courtesy of, you. You listen to the program. We want you to go to the Boise Music Festival for free. Keep it here between now and 8 o'clock for your chance to win another family-friendly, or, heck, you can take strangers or enemies to the Boise Music Festival Saturday, June 23rd at Expo Idaho. Robin Thicke, Granger Smith, Baby Bash, 50 local bands. It's going to be a great time. So congratulations, Bob and Boise. Awesome. Now, earlier we were talking about food safety here at 580-5436. 580-KIDO. For people that want limited government, what about food safety in this E. coli situation?
The CDC says 84 people from 19 states are now sick with E. coli. 42 have been hospitalized, including 9 who have developed a type of kidney failure. Those infected range in age from 1 to 88. More than half are female. The CDC and the Food and Drug Administration issued a warning last week against eating all romaine lettuce. They have not yet determined the source of the tainted lettuce other than it came from Yuma. They advise to not buy romaine lettuce unless you can confirm it's not from the Arizona area. Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
So, if you were listening last hour, I was talking about this chain Chi-Chi's. And apparently Chi-Chi's used to be where the Red Lobster is today. So I know when I've gone there with my father-in-law, Papa Jerry. I guess his name is Jerry to me, but love Jerry. He loves the Red Lobster. So you're in the Red Lobster hanging out. I knew I felt some type of ode to Chi-Chi's. And if you don't remember Chi-Chi's was a Tex-Mex chain that you could go in and, like I said, I'm still trying to work off the lunch buffet physique that happened to me in the early 90s. And you could get some really good food. Well, what happened was, and this was at Chi-Chi's in Pennsylvania, he had a couple go, and Chi-Chi's was like the place to go at night and stuff. It was, business casual, a little foo-foo, but still, kind of like, maybe a Mexican version of the Lone Star Steakhouse, how I describe Chi-Chi's. One of my favorite restaurants. So you had this couple go there, and this guy had some bad lettuce. And all of a sudden, the bad lettuce got him, and his liver shut down, his kidneys shut down. So when we're talking about food safety, and people talk about less government, there should be the most stringent standards when we're talking about the USDA, when we're talking about the FDA, when we're talking about meat and everything else, food inspections, right? Because it's just that one thing. And now you have, as you've just heard, all these people that are sick, all these people that could be dying because of E. coli, because the E. coli was on the lettuce. And think of how much lettuce that you eat. That's a lot of fiber. And if it's not clean, what it could be doing to your body. So yes, there should be tougher regulations and the most stringent standards considering the volume. Like Allegiant Airlines. Did anybody watch the 60 Minutes piece on Allegiant Airlines? After watching that, again, to protect myself from liability, in my opinion, I would not fly Allegiant Airlines after that one, considering the amount of shortcomings they're doing on safety, according to that report from 60 Minutes that had the FAA standard on that. Safety is nothing to be messed with, right? So why not have more stringent standards? Those folks that may disagree with me and want more limited government. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Let's go to Pro-Life, who's been holding very long. Pro-Life, thanks for your patience. You're on KIDO Talk Radio, your favorite radio station.
Yeah, it is my favorite station. And, talking about food safety, I know something about that because I'm an organic farmer. And, the Yuma area, that lower Colorado River water is one of the most polluted waters in the United States. And it's probably in the water, the E. coli. But the government, I'm going to say this, and boy, people are not going to like it, but the government cannot ensure that you get safe food. There's way too much. You'd have to have inspectors everywhere. It's just like having a policeman in every house, to protect the people. You can't do that. You have to know that your farmer grows stuff the right way. Now, I'm an organic farmer. I don't use any chemicals. And so if you're not getting poisoned by E. coli in your food, the chemicals are getting into your food. It's getting into the water system. The city and the sewage plants they cannot get the chemicals out of the water. They take the sludge, they take the heavy stuff out of the water when they clean it, and then they put it back in the rivers. But there's lots of chemicals in there, birth control chemicals that mess up the water life, the life in the waterways. And there's really only way you can really be safe about things is know where your food comes from, and it'd be better to get it from a local farmer.
I'm with you on that, but let me cut you off for a second. But when it comes to inspecting meat, when it comes to inspecting dairy and such, the government can do a lot to prevent that. Yes, there are chemicals and stuff, and that's not good. But on the other hand, that this was allowed to slip through, somebody needs to be held accountable.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and it's going to ruin a bunch of farmers down there. They're going to go broke now. That area has a bad reputation. But I'm telling you, you're going to see in just the next few years that there's going to be a big food scare throughout the whole United States, and people will say, well, hey, I'm going to get some organic grains and sprout them so I can get my greens. I'm not going to buy food from California because it's been in the polluted waters and the chemicals, and people are just becoming aware of that. And there's a good website, naturalnews.com, where people can learn about food safety. And that's people just have to really study about it, because you cannot rely on the government to protect you about food, just like you can't rely on them to protect you about anything.
I doubt. Well, wait a minute. What about flying? What about the military? What about police? What about the highways? Now that's extreme.
Well,
it's funny. You're turning me into a leftist this morning, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, you're right. You're getting the exceptions that are we can rely on.
Right.
But the things that we have all the time are water, our food. How about our thoughts? How about our? I mean, if you're not going to glean your information and get the right information and the best spiritual information, I mean, how are you going to interpret Christianity? Are you just going to take any old interpretation? No, you have to.
I think we've gone off the tracks on that one. We've gone from agriculture to religion,
right.
But I always appreciate the banter.
Well, we have to be very discerning about everything. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you're a discerning young man. I have to run, sir.
I'm a little old, but hey, God bless you.
You're a young man to me.
Yep. All right.
All right. God bless our great friend, Pro-Life. You're listening to Kevin Miller. Let's get you to KIDO Talk Radio. Our time is 7:31. Let's find out what's happening in your world. Good morning, Maggie.
Good.
And 38 after the hour from the College of Western Idaho. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO. How about caller 7 between now and 8 o'clock? Caller 7, you're going to win that family 4-pack to the Boise Music Festival. You're going to go to Expo Idaho June 23rd. Robin Thicke, Granger Smith, Baby Bash, Echo Smith, Parmalee, Matt Carney, plus over 50 local bands. So what do you have to do when I give you the cue to call? Caller 7 at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. We are here at the College of Western Idaho promoting our school, securing our future, thanks to CapEd Credit Union, Team Mazda Subaru, and Grade Power Learning in Meridian. And if you have a student that is having an issue, we're getting towards the end of the school year. Maybe you're thinking about the ACT, the SAT. Those can be intimidating. Prep classes can be very costly. If you'd like to get a prep class for free, over 50 hours of training at Grade Power Learning in Meridian, go to Power Your Education, located at KIDOTalkRadio.com. Write a 100-word essay on the power of education in your life or the life of your child, and you could win that from Grade Power Learning in Meridian. Really appreciate them, Mike and the staff there. They do an outstanding job. I was just there yesterday, had a little English quiz. We won't share the results with you on that. However, why not take advantage of that? We're still taking applications or essays. It's only 100 words. Doesn't take you that long. Mark Sweeney joining us. He's the Director of Business and the Manufacturing Programs here at CWI. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Kevin.
We were just talking about Ray Kuhn and the plumbing program. When we're looking at business and manufacturing programs, what does that entail here, sir?
Sure. We've got 3 different flavors of programs in my area, and so the biggest one that I want to talk about is apprenticeships. And it's a good opportunity for people who have tried other careers and that might not work out so well for them, might not be a good match, or have tried to go to college or have already been to college and just aren't getting the jobs that they're looking for in the workforce. So apprenticeship programs is non-credit, 4-year programs, and folks go to class in the evening, 1 evening a week, take all their other learning online, and they're working out in the field during the day, not accruing student debt. So it's really good program and good opportunity for them.
Indeed. Of course, we hear so much about the trades. And people are saying we don't have enough people in the trades. We're worried about the trades. You're on the front lines. What's our position here in the Treasure Valley?
Sure. The 3 programs that we have are plumbing, HVAC, and also electrical. And you take a look at all the houses, all of the new houses that are going up in subdivisions. I heard you live in Star, and so you are a witness driving past all these new subdivisions going in. Well, they need electricians, plumbers, and HVAC technicians to build those houses. And there's a shortage right now. With a 3% unemployment rate, the contractors are really needing folks in these fields right now.
Well, and speaking of HVAC, you're looking at the busy season as we get ready for the summer. It's so frustrating. And I love the people that have the commercials, hey, we're going to be there and blah, blah, blah. And the reality, because of the labor shortage, it could be a day or two, and a day or two without air conditioning in the summer. Well, it's rough. How about that HVAC field? How fast a growing field is that?
It's an extremely fast growing field, and all three of them right now are fast. So I've been here about 4 years, and each year we've seen about a 8 to 10% increase in enrollments. And that's reflective of the job openings that are out there. That demand drives the enrollments for those programs. So as long as the construction keeps going and there's a housing shortage here in the Valley, these jobs, especially the HVAC technicians, are going to continue to be in demand.
When you look at after completing the program, what's a ballpark starting rate for these folks?
Sure. So folks come into the program, and from day one, they'll make about $12 to $14 an hour, but that bumps up by the end of the 4 years. They'll go and, after they've completed our program, got the work hours that they need, they take a journeyman's exam, and then they're looking at $22 to $30 an hour range after the end of 4 years, which is a really good living for them, and it's a good wage increase.
Right, and that's just after 4 years, you get more experience, you get more valuable, you get more equity. Dave Petso is always telling us about the people that he works with, and some of the more prosperous people that he knows, people that have been in the trades that grind it out every day. They improve our lives. They make things work.
That's right. That's right. And it's not unheard of to be at 100,000 plus for some of those salaries. Some of our apprentices that go into journeyman go on to owning their own businesses, and there's real money to be made in the field and good viable living for them. And you mentioned just the importance of these trades, and I was in the Air National Guard and deployed to Turkey, and they happened to shut off all the power to the base. And that is really important and really emphasizes how much you need electricians and electrical power for anything that you do when you're looking at being in a climate like in South Florida and hot in the summertime and not being able to sleep because it's so incredibly hot. Electricians are important.
Well, thank you for your service, by the way.
You're welcome.
That was one of the biggest secrets that went on, is that you guys were over there during the coup or attempted coup. And it's funny, and I don't know if the other media picked it up. I held off on that story because your families would have been concerned about that, and they didn't need the hyperbole meter. But that was one of the best-kept secrets during your deployment, that's where y'all were, because that wasn't publicly disclosed where you guys were. Now, I have to ask you, I've been to Turkey a few times. Did you guys get out of the facility at all, or were you just confined to the areas of operation?
We were at the facility at the base, so it was at Incirlik, and we weren't allowed to leave there just for the safety.
And it's a sad part. I'm diverging a little to U.S. foreign policy here, Mark. I apologize, but at one time, one of our most trusted allies, and perhaps still are, but when I was in Turkey, I could go to the Grand Bazaar, the Church of St. Sophia, the Blue Mosque, that sort of thing. It's a beautiful country. But let's get back to the College of Western Idaho here. But if you're in the military, this is a perfect place as well, or a civilian?
Oh, it's a great place too. We have a lot of people in our program that have prior military experience, and they can come in and get credit for some of the learning and the time that they've spent doing those very self-same jobs coming into our program, and they may place out at year 2, year 3, and they also get the benefits of the GI Bill to be able to take the programs.
If I keep you any longer, we're going to go back to Turkey. Mark, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the time.
Thank you. 580-5436. So apparently we're getting deluged with people wanting Boise Music Festival tickets. And I tell you, this is the hottest act that we've had here this year, in the 9 years of the Boise Music Festival. So how about this? Caller 7 at 580-5436. 580-KIDO. Caller 7, you're going to win that family 4-pack. Think about that for a moment. Caller 7 at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Ray, I'll keep it here until we get a winner, and we'll move along. One of the top stories that is blowing up the Internet, and this is an issue that a lot of conservatives are, struggling with. Here you have Kanye West. And, I don't know Kanye. He doesn't know Kevin Miller. I don't really know his wife, Kim Kardashian. Okay, occasionally I might have watched, just for show prep, Keeping Up with the Kardashians or Keeping with the Kardashians. When Bruce was Bruce and not Caitlyn. Okay, full disclosure there. So Kanye West is this big international star. Why? I don't know. But if you talk to your kids, they love Kanye. Well, Kanye won't be coming to the Boise Music Festival. Okay? Kanye West is not coming to the Boise Music Festival. Kanye West said a statement on about the president, and it was a good statement. So now all of a sudden it's blown up the Internet. Did you hear what Kanye West said? Kanye West is the best. So his wife started, and our friends at Fox and Friends started covering this. And it's funny now that if you're a social conservative, if you're a conservative, you don't really agree with their lifestyle. But now everybody's like, yeah, Kanye, he's good. Kim, she's good. Let's take a listen.
Kardashian went to bat for her husband, who, by the way, she doesn't agree with necessarily when it comes to President Trump, said, quote, he's a free thinker. That not allowed in America? ? That's exactly the thought you think of when you...
Oh, it's not going to be good for you, Kim. No, free thinking is not allowed in America.
When you see some of these celebrities step up that go against the grain, the blowback they get, there are people around them say, listen, commercially, we can't afford for you to come out and say what you think about the president if it's indeed popular.
Right. So free thinking is not allowed in America. So here we have Kanye West breaking the Internet because he likes the president.
Looking at your Twitter account, and I know a lot of you don't, so you probably saw it on other media, Kanye West officially melted the Internet when we were telling you the day before, he was talking to...
Isn't that a weird statement by Steve Doocy? Hey, if you've been looking at your Twitter account, chances are you didn't, so you heard it on some other... Then why even mention that, Steve Doocy? Okay, maybe I'm overthinking this, but that's just an odd statement. So anyway, here's more from our friends at Fox and Friends at KIDO Talk Radio.
A friend who was one of the DJs at Hot 97 here in New York, and the DJ went on the air and said, Kanye really loves the President of the United States. And yesterday, he doubled down via Twitter.
He said, you don't have to agree with Trump, but the mob can't make me not love him. We are both dragon energy. He is my brother. I love everyone. I don't agree with everything anyone does. That's what makes us individuals, and we have the right to independent thought.
Well, I don't know if we do. We'll talk a little bit about that. That would be nice if we had the right to independent thought. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. And I love all of a sudden that the conservatives are down with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and everybody else. By the way, congratulations, Daniel in Caldwell. You won the Family 4-pack to the Boise Music Festival. Check out these great acts online anytime at BoiseMusicFestival.com. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. And don't forget our friends at Great Power Learning in Meridian. Check them out today. Power your education. Go to KIDOTalkRadio.com. Appreciate their sponsorship of this program. We're at the College of Western Idaho. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO. And when we're thinking of yesterday, a big day at the Supreme Court, here are the details in the Miller Morning Montage if you missed it.
Our nation was founded on a different premise, on the idea that you could come to its shores and be treated fairly. And our immigration laws reflect that most powerfully in 1965 in saying there shall be no nationality-based discrimination.
Hawaii has been honored to lead this fight against the travel ban. We have a proud history of welcoming immigrants to our islands, and they have been invaluable in shaping our story, our spirit of Ohana, and our Aloha culture.
This is a perpetual policy that bans. It does exactly what Congress in 1965 said you can't do. And it countermands Congress's fine-grained reticulated judgment from 2001, 2015, and several other times, which is to say, instead of these flat bans, we're going to balance foreign policy considerations, economic considerations like the U.S. companies brief, humanitarian, image of the United States views.
Does fall well within the power of the president under 1182.
There we have it, 580-5436-580, KIDO. Let's go to the phones. We talk to Cindy in Caldwell. Cindy, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio.
Hey, great show, Kevin, and thank you so much for showcasing CWI. I'm just so proud of all those people. I came from a manufacturing community and, in Bridgeport, Connecticut that had all kinds of trades where, plumbers, electricians, and, Sikorsky's my mother-in-law worked at, Rosie the Riveter. I mean, I'm just so proud of those people that find their destiny in, just getting into those trades. So thanks a lot. And just a shout out to you, Kevin Miller. It's tonight. You are nominated. Thank you for letting that man go on about his service to our country. But do not downplay what you've done, because you have been entered into the when I was out at Desert 22, and it is tonight. That's why I'm telling you, because I don't know if you're going to win. But the Clear Mind Center of Idaho, they were offering out at that Desert 22 a PTSD protocol, a giveaway, and they're having a seminar I hope to attend tonight. And they said nominate a vet. So, Kevin, you have always stood on this radio show, the first one out there not to point fingers. And I remember one of our politicians that succumbed to suicide, and I said, Kevin Miller, not only for your service, but what you do for our veterans, and especially those that are hopeless. So you're nominated, and you can give the, I would say what they're offering is you can get a free Clear Mind protocol on neurofeedback for PTSD. So that said, I'm hopeful you'll win. But you know what? What you're talking about is infection, and as a nurse, and I give a shout out to everyone on the radio station. Thank you. I get over $3,000 worth of plasma a month because my body doesn't make a lot of IgG, so I know everything you could think about infection. So when you're speaking to E. coli, the very simple thing, Yahoo for CWI teaching MAs, the biggest thing you can do to prevent that, and it's not just water sources, it's your hands. You look down, there's spores all over the place. That's why in a hospital, a nurse on a med pass, you use your hand sanitizer a couple times, but then you wash your hands. Every restroom you go into. And what would be a contaminant? In Birch Bay, where Glenn Beck used to vacation, I once confronted the Chamber of Commerce down there because my grandkids in a tide pool, and a dog comes over, and you've had places shut down because there's E. coli in the water, and the dogs are off leash and they're using the tide pools. And I'm moving my grandkids, and I go, really? Well, we don't want to offend our visitors, so we let the dogs go running here or there. Well, what source of infection? So, I'm saying, people, I correct them all the time. I mean, I had a medical practitioner not wash her hands when she came in a room last week. And when I said to her, before you do anything, you need to speak up, people. You need to be proactive. Wash your hands. Try to best protect yourself. I'm not going to give the clue out. You can Google it, how to wash lettuce to kill germs. I learned it at the co-op. So it's personal responsibility. Those signs in restrooms are for a reason. Body cavities.
And more from College of Western Idaho next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning.